here we have this question on vectors. It says the vector v has this, you can see it is bold. That is always the case with vectors, they always bold them. Has a magnitude of 39. Magnitude means the length. So this whole line, if I were to write it in maths, I'll simply write v when in these lines is 39. That means the magnitude of v is 39. And in the same direction as this. When we say it's in the same direction, we basically say that v is parallel to this vector minus 12 and 5. That's what it means. कि वो दोनों एक दूसरे के parallel. Parallel का फायदा क्या होता है कि आप ये कह सकते हो कि v equals some number, let's suppose k है, k times this other vector. So v is a vector, this is k times the other vector because they're parallel. That's what parallel vectors are. And we also know that v का magnitude is 39. So we can simply make it minus 12k and 5k as the new vector v. तो कह रहा है कि फाइंड v इन टर्म्स ऑफ a and b. तो अभी पहले हमें k की वैल्यू निकालनी है. तो उसके लिए हम देख लेते हैं कि अच्छा इस वेक्टर की क्या लेंथ है. तो इस वेक्टर की लेंथ है minus 12 स्क्वायर्ड प्लस 5 स्क्वायर्ड इज इक्वल टू, इसको जब हम सॉल्व करेंगे तो हमारे पास फाइनल आंसर 13 आ जाएगा. इसकी मतलब है कि इस वेक्टर की लेंथ है 13. तो 13 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करूंगे 39 आ जाए 3 से. ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब है k is 3. So k is equal to 13 over 3. K is 3. That means my vector v is 3 times minus 12 जो कि minus 36 बनता है and 3 times 5 which is plus 15. And there you go. If you don't like that, one other method that you could have done is कि आप यहाँ से ये वेक्टर निकाल के इस वेक्टर का मैग्नीट्यूड निकालो because आपको पता है कि v's magnitude is 39. You can simply be like okay minus 12k whole squared plus 5k whole squared, the whole square root is equal to 39, and that will give you 13k equals to 39 and k is equal to 3 यहाँ से आ जाएगा. And that way you can also say that vector v is 3 times minus 12 which is minus 36 and 3 times 15 which is 45. Sorry, 3 times 5 which is 15, and that way you will be able to find out the vector. Next is saying vectors p and q are such that p is this and q is this. Okay, given that 2p plus 3q is 0 0, find the value of r and s. So it's a pretty simple question, you have to just substitute them. So 2 times p is r plus s and r plus 6 plus p times q which is 5r plus 1 and 2s minus 1 is equal to 0 and 0. तो हमारे पास दो simultaneous equations बन जाएंगी. First equation will be 2r plus 2s plus 15r plus 3 और दूसरी इक्वेशन होगी 2r plus 12 plus 6s minus 3. This whole thing will be equal to 0 0 which we can solve simultaneously now. हम इसको break down कर सकते हैं. We can say that the first one which is now 17r plus 2s plus 3 is equal to 0, and second one we can say, so let it be our first equation, and second one I'll just write it here. So it's going to be 2r plus 6s plus 9 is equal to 0. And now we have two equations. You can solve them simultaneously and that will give you the value of r and value of s. Okay, so I guess everybody will be able to do that. We don't need to go through it. All right, so let's do this one. They're saying find the unit vector in the direction of this. So unit vector क्या होता था? Unit vector is basically, let's suppose a vector u, उसको मैं vector कह देता हूँ. Unit vector is basically the vector u divided by its magnitude. इससे मुझे क्या पता लगता है? इससे मुझे सिर्फ u की direction पता चलती है. Why do I know that? Because every vector can be broken down into its magnitude and its direction. So ये हमें direction बताते हैं और ये हमें उसका magnitude बताता है. And through this equation I can basically find out any unit vector that I want. तो पहले मैं इसका magnitude निकाल लेता हूँ. तो इसका magnitude होगा 5 squared which is 25 minus plus minus 15 squared, and that will basically make it 250 I think. Square root 250. So that's the magnitude. I don't have a calculator so you guys can confirm this. And once I have the magnitude, all I have to do is divide the vector 5i minus 15j by this number, square root 250. So my final vector बन जाएगा 5 over square root 250, whatever the simplified version is I, minus 15 over square root 250, whatever the simplified version is j. Okay, so that's how you find unit vector. You just have to understand that any vector can be broken down into its length and its direction. All right, the positive vectors points, vectors of points A and B related to a region are this. So vectors of points का मतलब क्या है? They're basically the position vector of that thing. So OA वो कह रहा है is 3 minus 5 and OB is 12 7. That's what the term means. That position vectors of this all that. The point C lies on AB. So अगर आपके पास ये A है और ये B है, तो यहाँ पे बीच में कहीं पे C है. In which case A to C is 2:1. So that means it's 1/3 the way from B towards A. So यहाँ पे C होगा आपके पास. So ये 2:1 है इसका. Ratio ये है, length ये नहीं है. Alright, find the position vector of C relative to. So they're basically saying find OC. OC चाहिए आपको. तो OC, let's suppose O कहीं पे भी है, ये O है. So मुझे अगर O से C जाना है, तो I can simply be like, okay, I can go directly from O to C, or I can go indirectly from O to C. That first I go to O to A and then I go to C. So that's my indirect method. And vectors are all about finding indirect ways to any points that you want. So अगर मुझे OC करना है, so I can simply be like that OC can be O to A plus A to C. And O to A I already know, that is 3 minus 5. And what is A to C? A to C is 2 by 3 because 2/3 the way from A to B. And here I'll apply the idea that position vectors can be converted to other ones. कि AB का मतलब होगा OB का vector minus OA का vector. Remember this. This comes first and this comes after. तो हमारे पास कोई भी vector break down किया जा सकता है in its position vector, and that's what we have done. All we have to do now is plug in the values. So 3 minus 5 plus 2 by 5, or 2 by 3, sorry. Shouldn't be 2
So
by
why
5.
is it 5? Yeah.
That should be 2 by 3. OB, which is 12 7, minus OA, which is 3 minus 5. Make sure you don't multiply 2 by 3 with just the first one. You have to make sure you go all the way. So I can simply add it all up. So this will be 3 plus 2 times 12 is 24. Sorry, 2 by 3 times 12 is 8, minus 2 by 3 times minus 3 is minus 2. Similarly, this one is going to be minus 5, plus 2 by 3 times 7 is 14 by 3, and that multiplied by minus 5 is going to be plus 10 by 3. So जो भी इसका आंसर आएगा, that's my final answer. That's my vector OC. Okay, so इसको आप कर लेंगे. This will be 9. And this will be okay. So we have found the position vector of C. Now they're saying point D lies on OB. So वही diagram अगर यहाँ पे देखें, तो यहाँ पर हमारे पास ये diagram. I'll just copy this one. And point D lies on OB. So O to B, if we connect that, then there's a point D somewhere there. And we know that D, let's suppose यहाँ पे D कर देते हैं. D to C, this vector is 6 1.25, और हमें ये नहीं पता है कि OB का और OD का क्या relation है, except we know that the ratio is 1 to lambda. Okay, so that's no problem. If this is 1, this whole thing is lambda. That's the relation basically. So हम उसको देख लेते हैं. That OD is 1 by lambda OB. We already have OB. OB is 12 7. So it's going to be 1 by lambda 12 7. Now we already have OC from the previous part, which is 9 3. Now if somebody messes this one up, then they won't lose marks in the part 2. If you didn't get the right answer in C part, sorry, the first part, it won't affect your result in the second one. Just make sure you use the value that you've calculated, regardless of whether it's right or wrong. So वो कहते हैं कि DC is 6 1.25, लेकिन हमें ये भी पता है कि DC is OC minus OD. So I'll just plug that in there, right? So OC is given to me 9 3. OD I have just figured out is 1 by lambda 12 7. So I can just have two equations and I can just use to compare them with each other. So on the left side, I have 6 1.25. On the right side, I'll have 9 minus 12 by lambda and 3 minus 7 by lambda. इन दोनों को आप एक को भी सॉल्व कर लोगे, आपको आंसर मिल जाएगा. So if I do this, that's 6 equals to 9 minus 12 by lambda. Then I'm getting minus 3 is equal to minus 12 by lambda. So lambda is going to be 4, right? If I try to do it with the other one, I should get the same answer. Let's see if we do that or not. So मेरे पास ये बन जाएगा minus 1.75 is equal to minus 7 over lambda, and that is, yeah, that is the same, 4. ठीक है? So I've got my answer, lambda is 4. So ये हमें चाहिए था और वो निकाल लिया. And yeah, that's it. The only question on vectors in this paper. Let's move on to the previous one. Okay, interestingly, the only question on vectors here is on velocity vectors, जो कि हमारे syllabus में नहीं है. Well, let's see this paper. Okay, let's try to do this question. I'm not sure if this just vector relative velocity. Let's see. First says a particle A travels with the speed of this in the direction this. Find the velocity of A. So basically वो हमसे velocity vector मांग रहा है और उस vector की उसने दो बातें बताई हैं. एक, हमें किसी वेक्टर का मैग्नीट्यूड चाहिए होता है और हमें उसकी डायरेक्शन चाहिए होती है. ठीक है, अब डायरेक्शन उसकी इस वेक्टर वाली डायरेक्शन और मैग्नीट्यूड 6.5 है. तो मैग्नीट्यूड तो उसने दे दिया, डायरेक्शन हमें निकालनी पड़ेगी. तो हम इसका यूनिट वेक्टर निकाल लेते हैं. लेट मी कॉल दिस यू. दिस इज माय वी. सो यू का यूनिट वेक्टर क्या होगा? -5i minus 12j over their magnitude, and this is actually the same value as the previous one, so इसका magnitude 13 आएगा. तो मेरे पास बन जाएगा -5 over 13i minus 12 over 13j. If you want to go through it, you can simply do Pythagoras theorem, -5 squared plus -12 squared giving you 13. तो ये यहाँ पे हमने डिवाइड कर दिया. So that means that's my unit vector. So हमारे पास ये बन जाएगा -5 over 13i और -12 over 13j. This I can simplify as 6.5 divided by 13 is 0.5. Is it? Yeah, it is. So that means it's going to be -2.5i और ये बन जाएगा -6j. अच्छा, यहाँ पे एक चीज ध्यान में रखें कि when you are, there are multiple ways of writing vectors. One vector is कि आप इसको, let's suppose एक वेक्टर है 2i plus 3j. आप इसको ऐसे लिख सकते हो या आप इसको ऐसे लिख सकते हो. Usually we don't write it as 2i or 3j, ठीक है? लेकिन यहाँ पे स्पेस कम है तो मैंने आपको शो करवाने के लिए कर दिया. Either you write it like this or you write it like this. दोनों में से कोई एक करता है, उनको मिक्स नहीं करते, ऐसे नहीं लिखते. Alright, so when you are doing column vectors, ये ij नहीं लिखेगा. लेकिन जब आप वैसे लिख रहे हो तो आप 2.5i plus 6j को सारा उसमें, ठीक है? So it's your choice how you want to write. Next it's saying a particle b travels with the velocity this, find the speed. So b की speed चाहिए और हमें वेक्टर पता है. So b का मैग्नीट्यूड चाहिए हमें. So that's going to be 12 squared plus 9 squared square root. So that's going to be 144 plus 81. That is, I don't know, 5 square root 225, which is 50. So VB, velocity of B is 12 and velocity of A is that thing. Okay, the next part isn't really in our syllabus, so we'll just leave that one out. Although it's really easy, लेकिन अभी हमें करने की जरूरत है. Okay, let's move on to 2020. 2020 onwards, the topic on relative velocity was taken out of the syllabus. तो अब हमारे पास ये है. जब भी आप पास करेंगे, you will encounter question on relative velocity matrices. Remember that they are both not in the syllabus anymore. Also sets. So ये vectors का question हमारे सामने. Let's see. The diagram shows the three topics not in the syllabus are relative velocity, matrices, and sets. So you shouldn't practice the questions from those when you're doing previous past papers. Like 2019 or onwards, जो भी पुराने past papers हैं उनमें ये हैं. So इन questions को आप छोड़ दीजिए. All right, let's do this. The diagram shows a triangle OAB such that O is A and OB is B. ठीक है, position actress मिल गया हमें. So the point P lies on OA as the diagram shows, such that OP is 3/4 OA. So basically, this thing is 3/4 of this thing. So it's 3 and 4 ratio. ये इनकी ratio. Again, this is not the magnitude, this is the ratio. The point Q is the midpoint of AB. So AB का midpoint है, तो मतलब ये हिस्सा और ये हिस्सा एक जैसा. The lines O, B and PQ are extended to meet the point R. ठीक है, find terms of AB. AB. अब AB क्या होगा? AB is going to be OB minus OA, as we know. So it's going to be B vector minus A vector. PQ. Okay, so first we have to find P and then we have to find Q. So अगर हम इसको देखें तो हम कह सकते हैं कि OP is 3/4 OA, तो इसका मतलब है कि वो बन जाएगा 3/4 A vector. Similarly OQ हमें नहीं पता, लेकिन हमें ये पता है कि AQ is 1/2 AB because it's the midpoint, right? So I can say that is 1/2 B minus A. ठीक, so मेरे पास AQ भी है, मेरे पास OP भी है, तो मुझे PQ चाहिए. तो PQ अगर मुझे चाहिए तो मैं ये कहता हूँ कि आप PQ is you go from P to A and then A to Q, right? You will do that. अब P to A कैसे जाएंगे आप? P to A will be OA minus OP and AQ we already have plus AQ. So हमारे पास OA is A, OP is 3/4 A plus AQ. AQ is half B minus A. So half B minus half A. That's AQ. So you just simplify this. This becomes 1/4A minus half A. So minus 1/4A plus half B, and that's our final answer. It is given that NPQ is equal to QR and BR is KB, where N and K are positive constants. Find QR in terms of N, A and T. Q हमारे पास है, वो डायग्राम आपके ज़हन में होना चाहिए. ये Q है, वो R है. Q से अगर आपने R तक जाना है, so there may be multiple ways of doing that. N यूज कर रहे हैं तो हम PQ को यूज कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. और BR नहीं यूज करना, मतलब K को यूज नहीं करना. So QR को अगर हम यूज करें तो we know it is NPQ and PQ we have already found, I think. Yeah. So it is going to be N times this. So that is minus 1/4 NA plus half NB. Find QR in terms of K, A and B. QR को हमने BR को यूज करना है, तो कह रहा है कि BR को यूज करेंगे तो Q आएगा ना. So QR के लिए मैं कहता हूँ Q से B चले जाएं और B से R चले जाएं, right? This path. So this is the direct path, that is the indirect path. So I can say that QR equals to Q to B plus B to R. Now Q to B is half of AB because we already know it's halfway there, ना? So half of AB निकाल लेते हैं. AB हमारे पास ये है. So 1/2 AB plus BR. 1/2 AB is B minus A. BR is KB. इसको सिंप्लीफाई कर लेंगे. It will become half plus K minus half A, and that's our answer. अब वो कह रहा है कि find the value of N and K, और इसके लिए हमें देखना है कि देखें QR है, चाहे वो आप किस मर्जी पाथ से जाएं. So एक उसकी वैल्यू ये है, एक उसकी वैल्यू ये है. So we'll just equate them. We'll say okay, it's going to be minus 1/4 NA plus half NB. Sorry, N is not a vector. Equals half plus KB minus half A. So I'll know that A portion, this whole thing, I can equate it to A over here, और B का ये सारा कुछ यहाँ पे है, I can equate it to B का ये सारा कुछ यहाँ पे. So if I do that, from the first one I get then minus 1/4 N is equal to minus 1/2. So minus minus से cancel हो गया. N is going to be plus 2. So that I know for N now. I'll plug it in the second one. Half N is equal to half plus K. So half N is basically half into 2 equals to half plus K, which again is going to be 2 to cancel ho gaya. K is equal to half. So I found K, I found N, and we are done here.
minus 1/2.
फिर माइनस होगा ना
1 minus half is half.
Then 1/2 times 2 हो जाता है 1. And then you take 1/2 on that side. So it's minus
Yes,
1
it
over
will
2.
become 1 minus half. ठीक है, 1/2 times 2 is 1.
Okay, ठीक है.
और वो half इधर आ जाएगा और हमारे पास ये फाइनल आंसर. ठीक है, so that's this question.